Let's make Elphaba's hat defy gravity. Thanks to LEGO for providing the LEGO Education set for review. I'll be using parts of this to make Elphaba's hat fly, just like we did on LEGOMasters. From the set, we'll pull out the hub, the motor, 3 beams that are 11, 5, and 3 sized, this Technic lift arm that is 5 by 3, the circle gear piece, an axle that's a 5-axle, 3 of the longer Technic pins, and 2 of the shorter Technic pins. Additionally, gather 3 of the frictionless Technic pins, so those yellows have less friction than the black ones, that half-size bushing, an 8 by 16 plate, a 2 by 10 and a 1 by 10 brick, and then 2 of these 1 by 10 Technic bricks. For starters, we are going to take the small motor and we are going to attach it to a 1 by 10 Technic brick, and that way we can stud it down onto that plate. That's going to serve for the stability that we need. We want it to go in a certain direction, and so we are going to take those Technic pins and slide it into the side of that motor. And then, as you can see, we needed some additional spacing to raise it up high enough, so we will attach another 1 by 10 brick. You'll notice I needed to flip it around because I wanted the motor to go in a certain direction. Then I studded it down, starting with that far corner. Next up, we'll take that 2 by 10 brick and put the 1 by 10 Technic brick on top of it, and we're going to attach that to the plate, lining it up so that back circle of the Technic pin lines perfectly up with the middle of that motor. Then we can slide the axle through and it'll attach to the motor perfectly. We'll put the half bushing on the outside, and that's going to help us push out this circle. So when we attach the circle, it's going to be a little bit further away from that Technic brick, which will be really important to avoid it rubbing against itself. Then we will attach this lift arm. We're going to space it using one of these 3 sized beams, and we'll use these longer Technic pins that you'll notice in just a second push out on either side of that beam, and that way it can push it out from the side of that Technic brick. We need to align it effectively, so I'm pushing it back 2 holes on that Technic brick to make sure that it's lined up effectively. Now we want to attach the long beam, and we are using these frictionless pins, so the yellow ones have less friction than the black ones. You'll notice I attached one of the pins on the far end of that long beam, and then the other one I went back 5 spaces. Then we will put the last frictionless pin in the circle there, and we will attach those 2 together using this 5 beam. So now when that motor spins, it's going to raise and lower that lift arm. And lastly, we will attach Elphaba's hat by aligning this 4x4 plate with these brackets that are going to attach to the end of the beam. Now we could stud in a Technic brick, and that would be a little bit more stable, but this works as well. Now we plug in the hub and turn it on. Push the center circle. We push an arrow, and it is going to move and levitate Elphaba's hat. Pushing it forward will make it go faster, pushing it backwards makes it go slower, and eventually would turn around the motor so it goes in the opposite direction. It's time to try defying gravity.